What I want to know is, let's get started on something here. What was the first big role that really, first big job you said, holy shit, this is going to work?
Well, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
I drove to L.A. to Venice, from Bronx to Venice. Me and Mira Savino got in a car, drove to Sundance. From after I got to L.A. and Venice, remember I told you I drove from Bronx to Venice. I get in my car a week later with Mira Savino, and we drive to Park City, to Utah, to the Sundance Film Festival, 1993. Our film, Among Friends.
93.
Yeah.
I was there in 93. I did a gambling casino for Paul Thomas Anderson's Hard Eight film.
I think I might have been in the casino thing.
Yeah, with John C. Reilly's condo.
Yes, yeah. Well, I've been going. So our film was like the big hit there.
Yeah.
I remember there was a casino there. We had we were with, so our group of filmmakers was Brian Singer, Jennifer Lynch, Robert Rodriguez, the guy Rob that I did the movie Amongst Friends with. So our film blew up at Sundance. Okay, yeah. I'm in the Bronx dealing with drug dealers and gangsters. I drive to LA and I drive to Utah. Now I'm dealing with massive filmmakers at the Sundance Film. And we were God. People loved us. I got an agent immediately from there. Like, our film was like, oh my God, this film is the next Mean Streets. It's the next Goodfellas. It was kind of that, the Jewish gangster film from Long Island, which was great. I mean, still today, it's iconic. Like, people go. And I come back to LA after Sundance, and Rob, the director's like, hey, bro, I got a meeting with Oliver Stone, because he was hot. He had a deal at Universal, and he's like, I got a meeting with Oliver Stone. Would you drive me to Santa Monica? And he was in Hollywood. I'm like, sure. Because growing up, I wanted to make films like Oliver Stone. I don't care as much as Scorsese or Coppola. As an Italian American, I was more interested in Oliver Stone films.
No
I loved Oliver. He was growing up. I read his book. He was like that's what I want to make films like that real gritty, hard edge film. My films, when I direct, are going to reflect Oliver Stone projects, not Scorsese and Coppola's. Now I get to LA and Rob's like, can you drive me to meet Oliver? I'm like, are you kidding? This is like my film idol. Like, this is what I want to be like. Like, this is the films I want to be like. I go to meet him. I'm in the room. I go there and I'm like, so Rob's talking and Rob's like, yeah, I'm going to make movies. Oliver's like, you make anything you want to the guy. And I'm just sitting there in the room, like, watching this dude going, oh, how surreal is this? My idol, my first week in Hollywood, I'm sitting in this room with him, right? That's Oliver Stone. After the meeting, he looks at me, Oliver, and he's like, hey, man. He goes, I love you in this movie Amongst Friends. He goes, you know what? I'm going to put you in my next movie. I love your look. I was like, holy shit. Sitting there going, okay, this is for real. Remember, I'm in Hollywood a week now.
That doesn't happen.
No. So I had no union card, nothing. I just showed up. I did an independent film to Hollywood. So he's like, I love your look. I love you. I'm going to put you in my next movie. I was like, okay. Next movie turned out to be Natural Born Killers. A week later, he calls me in again. He's like, come on into the meeting. Come on in. We have a meeting up here. I'm like, okay. I go, because I lived right in Santa Monica. So I go to his office. I walk in the door, but no bullshit, dude. I walk in. Who's sitting there? Robert Downey Jr., Tommy Lee Jones, Woody Harrelson, Juliette Lewis, Tom Sizemore, Don Murphy, and Jane Hampshire. They're the producers of Natural Born Killers and all this crew. And I walk in. I'm like, now remember, I'm a kid watching these people a week ago.
Yeah. Now
I'm in the room with them, and they're casting people, and they're using me. I'm sitting with them on a chair, casting people for my partner on the movie, and they're coming in. Remember, I'm no union card. I don't know anyone. All of them were just like, hey, Louis, welcome to the thing. And I'm like, holy shit, this is surreal. This was my initiation into Hollywood. And I'm sitting there going, and they're bringing in these legendary character actors, people that I watched a week ago, never mind 10 years ago, coming in and auditioning to play my partner in Natural Born Killers. I was like, and Oliver was like, you like this guy, Louis? And I'm like, yeah, I like him. He's like, no, you can't like everyone. Because I just was like, I love these guys. So anyway, they ended up casting a guy named Marshall Bell. He's a famous actor. He was in a million movies. If you type in, you'll be like, no, that guy is great. So he was
I just got to put the name to the face.
Oh, you ever see Twins, The Killer? The guy with the weird face. His wife is a massive production thing for Warren Beatty, production designer. Anyway, you type in, it would be like that guy.
Yeah.
Long story short, they end up pairing me up with this guy. And I ended up making friends with him until today. We're buddies. He's a way older. He's like 80, but he was like my mentor. Like I didn't have any money when I was in this movie. You know, I was just this kid doing this, and he would show me the ropes. Here you go, Louis. Here's a couple of $100 in case you need money. He would go, hey, this is what you do on set. This kind of showed me the ropes. This guy,
Wow.
Marshall Beck.